This is the RubberMark laminating and cutting segment of the ModelMark Teardrop series. Here I am laminating the RubberMark adhesive to the printed side of the ModelMark film. Take it from an expert, it's pretty easy to laminate the wrong side if you're not paying attention. I'm using a pressure-sensitive cold laminator and putting tension on the media roll so that it laminates straight. I printed and laminated 5 tires worth of graphics here, so I'm going to cut to the end of this very exciting process. Back cutting may be new territory for you. That's okay, I'm going to walk you through it. For tires, it's likely that you will just cut the right reading side down to the liner of the RubberMark adhesive. That way you can weed or strip the waste away from the graphic you want to use. If you remember, we copied the die line or the cut line so that it's on both layers. Omega will flip the cut to go along with the side of the material you are cutting. This is done in a utility called Back Cut, which is found under the File menu in Plot. Okay, so you can see that I've got about 10 repeats here for 5 tires. All I need is 3 of these teardrop sets per tire, so I've got some extras, which is a good idea. So to do your back cutting, just go to File, Back Cut, and in this dialog box, I'm going to choose the layer that I copied the cut to. Okay, so I called the layer Polycut, and I also have the print and PSA layer. So I'm going to choose that one, and the back slit type is custom, so I'm going to choose what I want it to cut. Okay, and then I'm going to send this to a spool file rather than to the devices. And I'm going to choose to send it to multiple spool files. Okay, I'll come back to this in just a moment. Let's go up to the rules here. Okay, you'll notice that this is the same as the plotter settings in Plot, but you can access it through the Back Cut utility. And what I'm going to do is, since we're cutting by layer, I'm going to tell it that I want to use rules by layer. Okay, so if I check the rules by layer box, then down here I can go in and set my different settings here for the print and PSA side or for the polycut side. So you'll notice if I, let's just say I go to print and PSA and I want to change these settings to lower my cutting force and acceleration, then if I hit set, you'll see a bunch of numbers will show up right here. Okay? Well, I'm actually not even going to use this, so it really doesn't matter at this point, but let me go to Polycut, and you'll see that my settings will change back to where they should be. So for my Polycut, I've chosen to do 2 cuts around the polyester, okay, because it's a 2mm polyester, I just want to cut through it. I'm using a little bit excess in force here. Probably don't have to go this fast if I don't want to. Really doesn't matter. I can go up or down in my acceleration. If I go down a little bit and I hit set, you're going to see this these numbers change. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to test cut. So I'm going to put my knife in the plotter. I'm going to dial back my knife so it can only cut through the polyester down to the adhesive liner. Okay, I'm a big fan of giving more force than is needed and to back off the knife so it can't cut any deeper than it's sticking out of the tool. Okay, so this is the way I'm going to do it. I hit OK. Then I'm going to go ahead and hit OK again, and when I do, it's going to create a spool file. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK. It's going to say, where do I want to put this spool file? I'm going to say teardrops, and here's where it's going to drop in the spool file. I've already done this, so you can see that it's got a front cut, and it's got one called back. Okay, so remember I told it which one is the back cut. Okay, so this is going to be the proper one to use. So when I'm ready to cut this file, all I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here, I'm going to say File, and I'm going to say Cut Existing Spool File, or Shift F9. And then I'll just go into here, I'll select this, I'll hit Open, and it'll send it to the plotter. Of course, I want to make sure that I line it up on the target first. As you can see, the Envision 375 is cutting the teardrop graphics. The only thing I want you to note is that you can see the target at the leading edge, and we are cutting from the side I didn't print on. The spool file we chose is the back cut file. When we are done cutting, we will just weed the ModelMark off the RubberMark adhesive liner, leaving the graphics we want to transfer on that liner. We can then use a clear application tape or a clear pliable vinyl as a way to line up and transfer the graphics to the tire. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to prep the tire and apply the graphics. Thank you for watching.